Rafinha.
What Hansi Flick is doing with this Barcelona team isn't normal. They're not just winning, they're winning with style. Dominating, embarrassing the biggest teams in Europe, and making it look way too easy.
Watch them, Adam. I find it hard to disagree with you because they're so entertaining. They play a lovely style of football.
Here is Lamine Yamal, teasing, chinking.
They press high, attack in waves, and when they go forward, they do it with one goal in mind: destroy the opposition. So what makes Barcelona the most scary team in Europe? Barcelona has already humiliated Real Madrid with an aggregate score of 9-2 this season. Even Hansi Flick's former team didn't get spared. They beat Bayern Munich 4-1 in the Champions League, a result that sent shockwaves around Europe. It's safe to say Hansi Flick has been cooking with Barcelona all season. That Real Madrid game was the talking point. They beat Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu. And the shocking part about that was it could have been more after Robert Lewandowski missed 2 sitters. Then they met in the Super Cup final in Saudi Arabia, and in the first half, Barcelona tore Real Madrid into shreds. A final, a cup final, and Barcelona was up 5 goals against Real Madrid at half-time. But for the red card that came early in the second half, they would have continued the beatdown. As crazy as this result was, it was a huge statement this season. Hansi Flick's Barcelona had already faced the acid test just days before that 4-0 win against Real Madrid, and they aced that to perfection. Bayern Munich was the standard. Barcelona hadn't beaten the German giants since 2015, suffered that 8-2 defeat in 2020, and since that point on, it had almost become a given for Bayern to have the upper hand against Barcelona in Europe. Hansi Flick switched camps, and the result did too. A Rafinha-inspired hat-trick gave Barcelona a 4-1 win over Bayern, and with that win, Flick's Barcelona had made it clear they weren't messing domestically or in Europe. It's a trend that has continued as the season has progressed. This season alone, Barcelona has hit 5 goals or more against many teams and have made scoring goals look like a joke. Now, perhaps the most impressive thing about these results is the quality of the opposition. They really did hit 5 against Real Madrid, Betis, Sevilla, teams that have decent standings in European competitions. It's a Barcelona team that's defined by its goals. Now, on average, they're scoring at least 3 goals per match. It gets scary when you take into account the 4 goals mark and see names like Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid twice, and Real Madrid again. And by doing this, they're breaking records too. 100 goals in just 32 matches under Hansi Flick, one behind for the record of quickest to 100 goals in a season. The rate at which Flick's Barcelona is scoring goals is alarming. In 2014-15, Luis Enrique's Barcelona team set a record for the most games with 5 goals or more that season. And now, under Hansi Flick, they've hit 5 or more 11 times this season. It's still only April, a lot of games to be played. And the best part about this is where the goals are coming from. 2014-15 was all about MSN. 2024-25 Barcelona has had 19 different goal scorers this season. Yes, you could be tempted to mention the front 3 of Lewandowski, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal, but equally players like Ferran Torres and Fermin Lopez have contributed their share of goals off the bench too. The big question with all of this is, how did Barcelona become so good this season? The answer, it's down to the tactics of this man. Hansi Flick and what he's doing at Barcelona, it's simply stunning. His tactics are centered on one key aspect, and that's to maximize the team into becoming a goal-scoring unit. They push high up the pitch, and with centre-backs like Pau Kubasi and Inigo Martinez, who have become experts at nailing the offside trap to perfection, Barcelona starts the defending in the opposition's half and builds the attack from there. The fullbacks have slightly different roles. Alejandro Balde advances more into the opposition's half because of the space Rafinha leaves when he gets into central areas, while Jules Koundé holds a slightly deeper position but still gets into attacking areas equally. But where the real magic happens is in the middle of the pitch. This area is key to Flick because it determines everything. The 3 in midfield, usually Pedri and Marc Casado, with Dani Olmo as the advanced attacking midfielder and Lewandowski as the focal point of the attack. The idea is to have as many players in the middle of the pitch as possible to create an overload. This allows the team to pick out options out wide, even when the opposition tries to overload the midfield. Hansi Flick's solution is to get players like Rafinha or even Lewandowski dropping to create more options in the middle. The point is, Barcelona can't be outnumbered in this position, else the system won't work. It's been working for a long while now. All of what's happening this season is the perfect redemption arc for Hansi Flick and many of his players. With all that's happening now, it's easy to forget that just a few years ago, Hansi Flick was making history for the wrong reasons. He'd become the first German manager in the history of the national team to get sacked, and this was off the back of his insane spell at Bayern Munich. After that move, there were questions about if Flick would be able to implement his tactics at Barcelona. They started the season with 3 back-to-back wins, winning by just a single goal. It was clear Barcelona were adapting to Flick's tactics. But what wasn't clear was just how well they'd be able to adapt. But since the Bayern game, there's been no stopping them, no looking back. Flick and his Barcelona team, as of writing this, remain unbeaten in 2025. And it gets better too, because in the same way he's been on his redemption path, he's put some of the Barcelona players on the same road too. Things were so mixed with Rafinha that after the end of the 2023-24 season, there was talk about Nico Williams coming to Barcelona and Rafinha's jersey being up for grabs. In the space of 8 months, it's gone from that to him not just being one of the most important players in this Barcelona team, but becoming the outright favourite for football's biggest award. The Brazilian knows he owes all that change to Hansi Flick, because with the system, the manager is highlighting his best qualities. Hansi Flick is getting him in more isolated situations with fullbacks, and by playing him as a left-sided winger, Rafinha doesn't always have to cut inside and become predictable with his shooting. Goals like the one against Bayern show he has a direct route to goal. Flick says about him, "I never had a player like this because he's unbelievable, the dynamic, against the ball, but also with the ball. His speed is really fantastic, and it's paying off." This season, he has 27 goals and 20 assists in 43 games, which is already more than double his tally from last season. It's the best return of his career so far, and he's not slowing down. The same with Robert Lewandowski. At some point, there was talk about him being too old, but under Hansi Flick, the Polish striker has rediscovered his deadly goal-scoring touch. He's the top scorer in La Liga with 25 goals and averaging 1.01 goals per 90. He ranks in the 99th percentile in the league in his category. He has 9 goals in 10 Champions League games, 38 goals and 3 assists in 43 games in all competitions for Barcelona this season. Lewandowski is 36. When you let this sink in and consider he was missing chances like this last season, he's become a much improved player under Hansi Flick, which says a lot. For the players who haven't needed redemption arcs, Hansi Flick has only gone and improved them. Pedri is arguably the best midfielder in the world right now, and that's down to Hansi Flick. There's been no questioning Pedri's talent, but the biggest difference with him under Flick is how fit he is. He's 100% fit, and it's great to see what he's doing with the ball, but also without the ball. In this position, he's the best in the world. Hansi Flick's Barcelona now uses advanced scientific data that reads the genetics of players like Pedri to help develop specific fitness plans and recovery methods for them. This means that Pedri is having the best season of his career at Barcelona since he broke out at the club. Or a player like Lamine Yamal, the most exciting young talent in Europe. And under this system with Flick in Barcelona, he's gotten even better. Yamal is now a combination of goal contributions and that attacking flair that makes him unique. He has 32 goal contributions in 41 games this season and has completed the most dribbles with 104, more than anyone else in the Barcelona team. This stat gets crazier when you realise the guy in second place, Dodi Lukebakio, comes in with 43 completed dribbles. Lamine Yamal is a beast, and sometimes he does stuff that even stats can't seem to define. The focus is also on guys like Jules Koundé, who has become the most solid right back in the game right now. Alejandro Balde, Pau Kubasi, Frenkie de Jong, players who were already good have now gotten better under Hansi Flick. He has made them winners too. At the moment, we have 3 competitions we're fighting for. I think no one expected that, but the team is doing great, and the message is clear. Barcelona is fighting for everything this season. They're top of La Liga and in the final of the Copa del Rey after dumping Atletico Madrid out of the competition in the semis. In the Champions League, the path is clear. Beat Dortmund, get into the semi-finals of the competition, and you're one step closer to the final. It might seem like an impossible task, but with each week that passes, there are more reasons to believe that Barcelona could win the treble. The form of the other teams in Europe plays a big role too. At the start of the year, Liverpool was arguably the most informed team in Europe, but in the space of 5 days, they were knocked out of the Champions League and lost a Carabao Cup final to Newcastle. And that's one team out of the picture. Real Madrid too. They've shown their ability to pull off miracle comeback after comeback this season. The same goes for Bayern Munich. They seem to be back under Vincent Kompany. But one thing connects these two teams with Barcelona this season. The fact that they've both been heavily thumped by Barcelona. PSG might seem like the only exception, but the point here is that Barcelona has sustained a momentum for large parts of the season. Sure, there have been a few blips, like the losses to Rayo Vallecano or Las Palmas at home and the defeat to Monaco in the Champions League, but they've been just that, blips. Throughout the season, no team has maintained the same level of performance as Barcelona has. Now it seems history is on their side too. The similarities between the Barcelona treble-winning teams of 2009 and 2015 are remarkable. Both had a coach who was in his first year, implementing a new style that was turning heads across Europe. Pep with his tiki-taka dominance, Luis Enrique with the front 3 of the MSN, and now Hansi Flick with a team that will outscore any opposition. Barcelona under Hansi Flick right now is a well-oiled machine. They're sweeping across Europe, scoring goals for fun and destroying the big teams along the way. And by the end of the season, Hansi Flick's team could very well be celebrating a historic treble, which will put them right up there with the greatest Barcelona teams in the club's history. Subscribe and like for more untold stories.